On Friday, Eastern Consolidated, a New York investment sales firm that's been in business for over 3 decades, announced that it was shutting down in July. This comes as brokerage around the country has become more and more consolidated, and we saw a similar situation on the residential side a few months ago where Town Residential abruptly shut down. What does this mean for the market? What does this mean for the brokerage industry? Joining me right now to talk about this is our senior reporter, associate editor, Mark Maurer. So this is a company that's been around for a long time, right? And they're a very well-known company in the mid-size market. They're one of the top firms. I think they were 10th on our overall ranking. So this came as a bit of a shock. Correct?
Yes, yeah. I mean, the investment sales market slowdown has affected everybody. And I don't think anyone really saw that Eastern would be hit worse than anybody else. And then to see that Eastern Consolidated couldn't, find a buyer, it was surprising given that RKF, a retail leader in New York, is being sold to Newmark.
And this is a time when a lot of these big firms are looking to ramp up in certain activities, right? So Cushman, for example, hired Doug Harmon and Adam Spies. Newmark needed some retail firepower, as you said. They added RKF. What was Eastern's thing, though? I think some people in your story that we published Friday had said they didn't really have enough of a niche to make it work.
Right. They specialized in mid-market investment sales, retail leasing, and increasingly financing, but they weren't at the forefront of really any of those categories, and it may have hurt them in the long run.
And so these firms are dealing, when the market in 15 and 16 was going gangbusters, I think everyone was making out just fine. But how much has it fallen? Help us understand how much of a drop there's been, and then why these firms have suffered.
Well, in 2017, like New York City, investment sales dollar volume dropped 40%. And let's looking at our ranking of 2017 firms, almost every firm took a big hit. Sometimes as many as like 95% decline. Eastern saw a 60% drop.
And overhead stays the same. The office is expensive. Hiring people gets more competitive in an environment like this, right? So that, coupled with this drop, I guess, made it not sustainable.
Right, yeah, it becomes increasingly difficult to stay afloat and to kind of pitch itself as like a unique contender in the marketplace.
And so we saw something like this on the residential side a few months ago. That was Town Residential. One day made this decision, we're out of business, and it was done. Eastern, however, is going a different route. They're wrapping up in July.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in that sort of interim period? What happens to the exclusives? Who are the people that everyone's talking about, sort of the people who will find a home?
When I'm talking to sources, it sounds like whatever's in contract will still close with Eastern, but some of the listings that Eastern has may be in flux a bit. We'll see kind of where those brokers end up going and what happens to those.
And do you think with more consolidation, is that something that could hurt the end user, as in this case a buyer or a seller? Because they have less options, they're essentially shopping with a narrower group of firms, right? So do you think prices will change or commissions will change in any significant way?
It's hard to say, but many of these users already are turning to like the full service firms that provide like an array of services, not just in New York, but where other markets where these investors might have property. And if they want a more specialized service, then there are options for that still exist in New York.
All right, Mark, thanks so much.